Hey, welcome back to the We Run With It podcast. I'm going to make it short and sweet today. Apologize, I've been writing a We Run With It book, or short story you can call it. And I'm going to audio record it too. So I will get that out as soon as possible. But that's why my pods have been slacking, or at least that's my excuse, because that's taking up my creative juices, per se. But this episode called Then and Now, just a little quick overview. As I've gotten, obviously some people joking, some people don't know if they are. I'm just throwing it out there for, comments I've gotten recently about, the amount, of volume I've been getting in, / how often I'm running, or just how often, I don't know. I guess from the outside looking in lately, I've been doing a decent amount, but I've been pretty stuck to a plan all year. So I just want to go over certain things so people get an understanding and maybe get clarity on themselves by not always going off what you see off social media, because obviously, for anyone who knows me, I use social media now for We Run With It. I use it because I do love the running community and just fitness community in general, High Rocks, everything. I like how it puts a positive spin on life. I never used to like social media because I thought it was all negative, but I think I'm going to hammer down with the social media thing / podcasting / creative thing for the next year or two. And then, I guess go from there. But I want there to be positive voices on social media. So instead of being the crusty guy that's like, I don't go on because it's all negative. People are going to consume content, so why not have strong men and women put out their voice for a while? And that's what I'm going to do. I'm sure when I settle down, meet a nice lady, and have a family, I'm sure I won't be putting much of my life on social media, but that's just my personal outlook now, I guess. Anyways, just went on a little tangent there. But, so yeah, anyways, to get back to the then and now. When I started training, or I'll specifically talk about running. When I started running, I made a post a few weeks ago about my times, about I could barely run a 10, 11, even probably 12-minute mile without dying, huffing and puffing. And yeah, obviously now I can do pretty well. I can run low 7s for a half marathon after a hard day's work the day before, and I ran a 3:15 marathon 2 years ago. Obviously there are a hell of a lot of better runners out there than me, and a hell of a lot of better and more in shape endurance athletes than me. But I kind of wanted to go over what you see on social media isn't everything type of deal, because I feel like some people might be looking in and I just have certain friends that are honest, and they're like, oh my God, how do you maintain that? How you do it? And it's for me, it took 5 years. I have the base of, most people, high school sports, this, that, but I've been lifting and running since high school, continued after high school. I've always had the blue-collar job. I'm on my feet all day in work boots since high school. So, I feel like the mixture of the two obviously helped my body be used to... It kind of set myself up for the endurance space, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying people that come from an office job or whatever are going to have a harder time than someone that's been on their feet on the field. I'm not a doctor. I don't know the science behind it. I'm just saying I felt like my body could handle a lot more in a shorter amount of time than some other people that have gotten into it that don't have that background, I should say. So when I started getting into it and building up, I was absolutely tanked after a 2-mile run. I would try and run the next day. My legs would still hurt. And that went on for probably a year. Legitimately a year. So like when I have people now that have just gotten into running in the past 6 months, 8 months, whatever, I get that it's frustrating. That's kind of why I wanted to put this episode out here, I guess. Those were a long-winded few minutes to get to this point, but like I get that it's frustrating because like I actually am to the point now where, like I think August I only missed. I think I ran like 26 days out of that month, and I honestly felt good. Like I wasn't beat up. I didn't do any crazy long runs because I was getting ready for High Rocks. I was coming off of an Ironman, so I had just done a huge volume phase. Where I'd hit a 200-mile month before that, which for me is a lot. So yeah, I just really want to put this out there because it's like I get that it's frustrating, and I'm at the point now where I can run 30, 40 miles a week without feeling too beat up, depending on what's going on work-wise. Or I guess, two, it matters how hard I'm training. So if I'm just doing slow runs for 40 miles a week every single run and just building a base and kind of giving myself a break from speed work, which would really be something to do just for like ultra marathons, I wouldn't be that beat up because I'm obviously not pushing my body to the limit. But if I'm running 40-mile weeks and 2 of those runs are speed work and one of those runs is a longer threshold run, then only one of those is a slow run, of course that's going to feel a lot different. So I also want people to understand that is like once you make the adjustment from doing all your runs slow and just building capacity to then putting in the same mileage but dialing in your speed, you're going to be a different sore even though you're putting in the same mileage, if that makes sense. And again, everybody's going to be different. Every body works different. This is my personal journey through it all. It's the same thing with weightlifting for me. Like right now, I haven't tried to max out on bench press in a few months. If I went back to it, I probably would only be 20, 30 pounds under what I've done in a lifetime. If I haven't done it for 8 months, I'd probably only be 20, 30 pounds under what I've done in a lifetime, as long as obviously I stick to doing the basics for the next 8 months, because my body has built up. I've been bench pressing since I was 12 years old. So it's like it's frustrating with running because when you get to a point where you actually enjoy going out for a long run, like for me, I love on the weekend, especially when I have the day off, like I love hammering out an hour and a half, 2-hour run, especially a trail run. And it's frustrating when like your body, like some days those feel fine, especially if I like didn't have a heavy week of volume. But then some days you feel beat up, and like I get that it's frustrating. I get from the outside looking in, seeing people put in 40, 50-mile weeks on a consistent basis all year long. It might be frustrating, but like they took years to get to that point. So just keep plugging away, and honestly, like just find your limit, stick with it for a while, and then push it again, and then just keep doing that. You know what I mean? You don't. It's like you gotta crawl, and then you gotta walk, and then you gotta jog, and then you gotta run. That's how it goes. So I don't know where I was going now, but I wanted to touch on the mindset part of it too. Like my mindset back when I got back into endurance 5 years ago, my mindset with it was I had no clue I was going to do an Ironman. I had no clue I was going to do a marathon. I hadn't done a half marathon yet in my life at 26 years old, and I kind of wanted to check that off the list. And I honestly thought that would be the furthest distance I'd ever go when I got back into it 5 years ago. So my mindset with it back then versus now was kind of just like be able to run a 5K anytime if someone asked me to. Not be out of shape walking up a hill or going upstairs, like if I had to, like, we had to work on the side of a mountain or a hill, like I wouldn't be struggling and out of breath. I'd actually be in shape for work. And that was kind of for the running. Lifting's always stayed consistent with me, so I'm not going to talk about that just because that's been consistent since early on. But the running and endurance has been something hit or miss. And then I didn't do it for years in my mid-20s, like I talked about before. So, yeah, anyways, that was my mindset 5 years ago. Was half marathon at some point. I figured just kind of get into a decent shape. That was all my goal was, to make sure I was able to do things if people asked, make sure I could go on a hike, take the dog on a run, whatever, and just kind of stay in that shape. And then as I got into it, I've talked about it before, like my buddy signed up for a marathon, and then I was like, and then he told me to do it, so I did it. And even then, like, I did fall in love with it then, because I realized race day, my first marathon, I was so underprepared, and race day kicked my butt so bad. So then I started training hard. So that race day was like, oh, I'm just going to go out there and let it rip and have fun. Then my mindset started changing to training is everything, and race day is simply just so I have structure now. And then there's times in the year where I don't schedule anything at all, and I kind of just keep a 30-mile a week, like, I guess, average, like there's weeks where I might get 25, there's weeks where I still might get 40, even though I got nothing on the books. I kind of just give myself a break some months and just stay running, but don't have an event on, so that I can let my brain just do what it wants to do, and also listen to my body on what it wants to do. And that's kind of where I've grown to with it. Like, I signed up for the Ironman this year. That went well. I did not train for the bike really at all, which it showed, because it took forever. It took me like 8 hours, which is way below average. And then my run, I was proud of, because I got a 3:26 marathon at the end of swimming and biking. So, like, that was good to see that my running paid off and all the training paid off at that point. What else have I got done? I trained for the High Rock specifically. I want to get under 110. I got 108.45. So, again, like, it's cool to see this year. Like, I went through injuries last year, and I've talked about that. But it was cool to see this year, like, sticking to training cycles for a long time, and then having event day just be the day where you just go let it all out. And it's like, I'm not so stuck on the number on event days now, if that makes sense, because I put in the work and I'm confident. So I'm more of like, let's push it. Let's see how far we can do it. And obviously, I guess if I didn't hit my goals, maybe I'd feel different, but I feel confident I'm going to hit my goals because I know going into it, I've put in the work. So for me now, the training is everything, and I'm also at a point where I've been averaging, I want to say probably 35 to 40 mile weeks since last December, so going on like 10 months. So, like, my body feels solid right now, where, like, if I take a couple days off of running and then get back into it, like, I can go full bore into it again. But, like, this is the first time in my 31 years of living I've been able to do that with running. Like, the first 5 years, or I should say the first 4 years of getting into it, I was just constantly in pain. Or, between, like, injuries, between shin splints, I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And, like, obviously, that's why I made it We Run With It. Because, like, there's been points where I'm running away from whatever it is. Maybe my own mind, I don't know. But now I really embody the We Run With It, because it's like I just love going out there and being able to rip through a run. Like, I like running fast now. I like going for a nice 8 mile quick rip. It's just something I enjoy doing. Whereas before, I was like always trying to hit a certain pace, always trying to hit this. So, like, I still have goals that I want to do moving forward. Just to throw one out there, like, I want a sub 3 hour marathon one day. I've done a 3:15. So, like, there's gonna be times where I buckle down completely and go for specific time goals, but it's out of the love for the game, and I think I want to bring that to more people, and I want more people to hear this, because I know sometimes I post a lot of motivational stuff or like hoorah, but it's, I mean, if you know me and you work with me, especially, or you're around me a lot, like, I'm joking constantly. I work hard, and I like getting shit done, but, like, I'm constantly laughing, joking, having a good time while I'm doing it. So I should be putting a little bit more of that out there. It's just, for me, I don't like getting too personal about, like, everyday life with social media. Like, I like keeping We Run With It and, like, making fitness videos, making stuff like that. It's more of like, that way my life is separate than my social media account. So yeah, I'll wrap this up, because I said this was gonna be quick. But so the then and now. I mean, started off just trying to get in shape. Then it turned into push, go as hard as you can, get better. And the now is just keep letting it rip. Like, I have the mindset of, I'm gonna die someday. Push myself to the limit still, but listen to my body a little more. And I just kind of do what I want to do. Like, I love getting long runs in. I like training hard. I like high rocks training, pushing the sled. Some days I like bench pressing and squatting. You know what I mean? I kind of just mix everything together and go as hard as I can. And I know some people from the outside looking in might be like, oh, he's doing too much. He's running away from things. But it's like, I just enjoy doing it. And, like, I don't know. I've seen life get cut short for other people. So it's like, I know I should probably chill sometimes, but at the same time, at 31 years old, I guess I don't really care. I'll check back in with you guys in a couple years. See what I say then. But anyways, that's my mindset now. I hope this helps. If you're out there and you're first starting off and it's frustrating, just fucking roll through it. Have fun. Try not to give yourself too bad of shin splints. And, yeah, I mean, just remember that you don't have to run away from everything. So if you're pushing yourself to the limit for no reason at all, and you just keep getting hurt or keep being in pain, it's also not doing you any good. And I've been there. So dial back a little bit if that's you right now, or if you're starting off and you don't feel that way and you're just happy with it, then that's fantastic. If you're already fully involved in this and whatever you got going on, just keep pushing, baby. So that's it. That's all I got for you. Go run with it. Thanks.